Hey, what is up, guys? We are here with the alien character breakdown. If you haven't seen our character breakdown videos before, we talk about a character's notable normals, strings, special moves, differences between all their variations, as well as a basic game plan. We're looking at Predator. This character has crazy far range and really tough to deal with overhead and low mix-ups. One thing you'll notice right away about him is his jump kick, right? Man, the range on this thing is astronomical. Like, it covers so much distance, and you can cancel it into whatever you want. And even start combos with it. Even if you're up close and you jump back with it, it's always going to be a threat. And then, you know, in acidic, this variation has an air projectile you can do. So, yeah, it's really sick. So that's his jump, one of his jump kicks. The other jump kick is a double hitting, as you can see there. And if you delay it, it's going to be a, overhead, and you can cancel into, the flip there and everything like that. So that's really, really legit. And also, this jump punch range is like, man, it's just, yeah. So his jump attacks are really good. Let's talk about some of his grounded normals, though. Standing one is your normal standing one. It's a high. It has a couple of strings off of it. You can get a launcher out of it. So it's pretty standard stuff. But his up three is this interesting anti-air. Now, in this variation, acidic, it shoots acid and adds acid damage. But in the other variations, it's just like a strike, and it's a really good anti-air. This is probably the anti-air that you'll want to use a lot of times. Forward 1 and forward 2 are forward advancing normals that have strings behind them that are really good. You'll probably use these pretty often. Back 2 is this leaping overhead strike. You can run up after and combo with whatever you want. Back 3, really far range low. Like I mentioned, he has crazy range on a lot of things. So this back 3 is really far. Down 3, really far. This forward 3 is crazy range on it as well. That's a mid. His down 3 even has, like, yeah, the range on this for a low poke is really far. So that's down 3. Down 1 looks just like that. He sticks the tongue out. Gross. Down 4, like I mentioned, really far as well. In this variation, it applies acid damage too, but, in the other variations, it's just really far reaching. Standing 4 is a high, but also really far range. If you didn't get it by now, yeah, crazy range on all these. Forward 4 is an overhead, and it's special cancelable as well, so you can go for, mix-ups or whatever, overhead low. So those are all his normals that are notable. Let's talk about the strings. We talked about 1-1-2 earlier. That's off of the standing one. But he also has 1-2-3. Now, the nice part about this string is that 1-2 is a low, which means you can do stuff like 1-2 overhead, or 1-2 low, or even just 1 overhead, right? So you have all these mix-ups that you can get off of staggering this string. And of course, 1-2-3 is just the completion of it if you wanted to send them back. Back 1-1. Forward advancing, it has a couple of different follow-ups. So the 3 follow-up is a low. You can actually hit confirm that, see it, and then cancel it or whatever, and you can get it mixed up there, right? So it's a double hitting low. If you want to cancel instead to an overhead, you can go ahead and do that. But the up 4, back 1-1, up 4 is a launcher, and you can combo whatever you want off this as well, which is really legit. So that's probably one of your go-to launchers, right? You're gonna just do stuff like whatever. If you can actually combo off of it, you're probably much better than me, so it won't be a problem. See, yeah, so whatever. You can do a combo off of it pretty easily. Forward 1-3, another forward advancing move. You can hit confirm those first 2 hits really easily into whatever launcher you want to do. You also have the follow-up of doing the 4 at the end, which is a low. And of course, that means you can mix it up with overhead with the tail flip. Forward 2-3, again, really good forward advancing string here. He has a lot of these. And it has a follow-up as well that makes hit confirming this really easy, which is forward 2-3, 4-3-4. So it looks a little like this. It's going to be 4-2-3, and then now you have the follow-up of 4-3-4, which hits multiple times. And during that whole time, you can just wait and then do the special move at the end. Like, I can just sit here and be like, oh, okay, now I'll go for the flip. Like, it's so delayed. If you look at the inputs in the bottom left, I can wait so long to do it. Like, I have a lot of time to hit confirm that. Besides that, he has back 3-4 off of that far back 3 string. Again, it's a double low, so suddenly low overhead is an option. And of course, forward 3-4 looks just like this. It's a quick mid into overhead. You can cancel in a low if you want instead. Lots of mix-up potential. So let's talk about some of these special moves. I've already showed off a lot of them. Tail flip is back forward 4. It's an overhead. I mentioned that you can do it in the air as well. The EX version juggles them for a combo, which is really cool. You can do that in the air as well. So combo off of it. Xeno Strike is down forward 3. Looks just like this. This is your combo ender. So this is the main thing you're going to do at the end of combos into whatever. EX version just has some extra hits for some more damage. But yeah, that's your main combo ender that you'll use in a lot of situations. Tail Snag is down back 3. This is your low. It looks just like that. You've seen me use that a few times. You can also EX that for some extra damage as well. and low crawl, which is back forward 1. This is a lot like reptile dash. It's gonna pass through on hit and just give you some advantage. EX version of it, you can actually combo after. So you can hit the EX version and then do like standing whatever into a launcher into big combo. So that's what it is, and it's also really fast as well. You can see there. So that's low crawl. Now let's talk about variation specific stuff. We're looking at acidic. So down 4, like I mentioned, and up 3, shoot out acid and add that acid damage over time. If you look at Liu Kang's health bar, you can see it drains there. But he has some other moves that add this stuff. So down back 2 is a projectile that does this, and you can shoot that far, close, or mid. EX version of it shoots 2, and it does a lot of extra poison damage, which is really good when you think about stuff like down 4 into it, or you know, any of his far strings or the overhead into it, right? He has so many far normals he can cancel into this and start poisoning people from really far range, right? And again, you can do that in the air as well. So you can cancel that big jump kick into it, which is pretty dangerous. Besides that, he also has down back 4, which is acid blood. Now this takes some of Alien's life if you look in the upper left there, but it is a standing reset, so you can do it. And whoops, yeah. So it's a standing reset. EX version gives you extra frames and damage there, so it looks just like that. You saw 2 hits there did 15%, so you can actually end your combos with this in this variation. You get that standing reset plus damage over time, and you can go for whatever mix-up you want, which, you know, this character has really good overhead and low, so that's a really good option for him as well. Now let's take a look at Conjurer. This is the more zony space control variation. He has some traps you can summon. So if you, I just want to show you down 4 in this variation looks like that, up 3 looks like that, so no more acid on it. So down back 1 summons this thing here that you can shoot face huggers out of. That's super cool, right? You can combo off the face hugger. When the face huggers hit, you can just run up and, you know, do whatever combo you want. But one thing to keep in mind is that you see this blue circle here. If your opponent's in that blue circle, the face hugger will automatically come out, which means that you can put this face hugger behind them, and I can do, like, you know, an unsafe thing into it, and suddenly the face hugger is going to come out. So if he blocked that overhead and tried to punish there, then suddenly the face hugger is going to come out and, you know, stick to his head or something like that, right? So you can put it behind them and force them into it. The EX version of the face hugger has a much bigger hitbox. Whoops. So yeah, much bigger blue box there. So more of a chance that your opponent's going to run into it. And again, you can do that close, you can do that far. Doesn't matter either way. So now you're really safe here, especially if your opponent has to approach you. This is a tough distance to deal with. The other move that he has in this variation is Drone Slime, which is down back 4. Summons a drone from the sky. You can do this close. You can also do this far. And you can do the EX version, which pops them up, which you can combo after. You can also hold on to that and delay when it's going to come out. So the EX version, I can just choose, you know, I can walk up here and go for whatever mix-ups and then suddenly drop the drone or whatever. So you can get some cool stuff like that, like throw into it and they're waiting for it to come down or whatever you want to do. So you get some really cool stuff with Drone Slam, and that's Conjurer. This is really about space control, setting up traps. This is like the movie Alien, right? The one that everybody knows and loves. Tarkatan is really similar. It reminds me a lot of the Hunter variation for Predator, right? So he gets this new neutral jump punch, which looks a lot like Predators, but he also has some new normals. So standing 2 is now changed into this. It has a string off it. Standing 2 1, really far range. Nice normal there. You're gonna want to hit that a lot. Back 2 again gains extra range on this. You can see in this variation it's particularly dangerous. Still an overhead too. And yeah, the neutral jump punch, like I mentioned, improved in this variation as well. This is really the combo variation. So down back 1 is really like the Baraka just combo thing there, and EX version, extra damage on that. Down back 2 is Blade Spin, which looks just like that. EX version's a launcher, so this is really just your standard, like you're gonna hit confirm. Oh, I hit this, alright, go into my launcher, do my normal whatever combo there, and you know, that's like a normal Mortal Kombat launcher. And that's what you're looking for there. The other move that he has in this is Tarkatan Rush, which is back forward 2. Now this is a Rekka, so the first hit looks like that. There are follow-ups from it. The 1 is just a stab, and after the 1 you can do 2, which is an overhead. You could do 4, which is a low, or you could do the throw follow-up, which is not actually a throw. They call it like the throw in the thing, but it's a high. It looks just like that. Now, if your opponent's trying to jump out of it or whatever, or trying to armor, this is a good idea. And you can also EX that for a follow-up, so you get a little bounce at the end. Whoops, I didn't get it. Yeah, so you get a little bounce and you can do whatever and your choppy chop. So that's pretty legit. And that Rekka there, you can interrupt it with armor and stuff. So if you are a character that has a nice armor move and you want to blow through that whole series, you can get rid of it. But that's the basics of Alien. He's a character, really great range, right? At this distance, he can threaten you with all kinds of stuff. Overheads, lows, very dangerous. This particular variation, Tarkatan, is more about combo heavy, more getting in your face, very simple variation. The Conjurer one is a lot more zony space control if you're into that kind of stuff. And same thing with Acidic, a lot more about that projectile and adding up that acid damage off your overheads, lows, and the different stuff in that variation. So Alien, really rangy character, good normals, good overheads and lows. He is tricky. Got a lot of crazy stuff going on. So really interesting character. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this character breakdown. See you guys again soon.